Hey guys, just doing a follow-up review on my Toyota Tundra and the cracked seat. I've had it replaced since the last video, and it was covered under warranty. Sorry about all the dog hair, it's just my one dog. He's quite the shedder. But anyways, yeah, it all looks good. It looks like it was all put back into place nice, and yeah, not much to complain about over here. I'll see if I can get some footage under there, under the seat. I've never really seen myself, so I'm curious to see what that might look like. But yeah, the dealership just had the service manager check it out first before they would warranty it, and he said it looked like there was no external damage done from the outside to that seat crack, so it was covered under warranty. So here's hoping that it doesn't keep breaking. I mean, before I noticed the crack, I think I've had over 20,000 kilometers, so it looked like it took a while before it happened. But while I'm out here, I'll talk about these floor mats and kind of go over why I stayed with the stock floor mats, or the OEM floor mats. And to me, they just fit nice. They're flush. They cover most of the areas. I mean, they don't cover all the sidewall there where I've gotten a little bit of mud, but I mean, I don't really mind that too much. I mean, it's a truck, it's gonna get dirty, so that's my thinking on that. Show you an addition I did make recently here. I did add these WeatherTech seat protector for my rear seat. So I got them because obviously, as I've mentioned before, I don't have a center armrest here, so I thought this one would fit pretty good because I don't need to be taking it down for a center armrest for people to use that. Now, if I'm full of passengers in here and I need the seat belt, then I might need to, figure something out, or just unhook it from up here, these 3 headrests there, and put it down, and then people can use that seat belt pretty much. I still haven't installed it 100% correctly. There's these tabs here. I think you loop them around an anchor spot or something, and that keeps it really tight and firm. But for me, for now, this is working fine. I'll probably do that at some point, but it was an easy install, and it's totally worth it because I'm not going to spend the money on cat skins or leather to put onto this, and this will do the job for my dogs and my kid back here messing everything up. Because if you have kids, they don't care. They just don't care. Garbage, spit seeds, sunflower seeds, food, whatever, you name it. Kid's gonna expose the flaws and all that. But I'd also wanted to touch again on the floor mats. I like how they're flush. They cover everything except some dog hair has gotten back underneath that. But that to me isn't a big deal, because what matters is stopping, mud, water, a spill from a drink or something that your kid might be drinking, or your passengers. And it does a good job at covering this area here. It really does. It goes far back in there, and it's flush. I've owned WeatherTechs before, floor mats, and I have had them curl up in the back a bit. Not a deal breaker for me. Like, I wouldn't stop me from buying a WeatherTech, but this truck came with these OEM floor mats, and for me, that's good enough. It's good to go. Like, I mean, really not going to get much better than that, or a better fit and finish in my point of view. I mean, I haven't tried out Huskies. I've tried out Enthuse floor mats before, and they're actually really good. too. But as I said, I didn't need to buy floor mats again, so no need. So there's the truck. I haven't had any further issues now that I've had it back. Everything's been pretty tight. If I have further issues going forward, I'll keep you guys posted. And thanks for subscribing, for those of you that have subscribed. And if you're interested, please subscribe. It will help me a lot. And I was doing some research on the Tundra, and it's a good listen if you don't mind listening to podcasts. I found this podcast called the Tundra Files, where the guy there, he talks about, he's a Tundra enthusiast, Toyota enthusiast, and I would say I am too. I try to research as much as I can about, Toyota Tundras, 4Runners, Sequoias, and other trucks, actually. Anyways, I found some interesting information on that channel, on that podcast, and some of the stuff that he was talking about was some of the people he interviewed were the designers and all that, and they were going into detail about how this truck was some of the inspiration or motivation behind the design was Iron Man and the Iron Man suit, and they wanted to make you feel like when you step into this truck, you're putting your suit on, and plus with the technology, and which is interesting. I think I do see a little bit of that design language in the grille, in the hood, and a little bit in the interior. I think I understand what they're talking about, where they wanted things to be tight, they wanted everything to look tight fitting, make you feel like you're wearing that suit of armor like Tony Stark, I guess. But I just thought I'd share that tidbit, and just some other interesting stuff where I guess for them they wanted to they had designed the Tundra, and they said they got to a point where they were like, oh yeah, it looks fine, they felt comfortable with the design they had come to, but then they said, well, that's not okay, we need to push it further, we need to push the design further and get out of our comfort zone. So they did just that, and they wanted to design something that would still look relevant 10 years from now. And so maybe I think maybe that's why it's less conservative. We all know Toyota likes to be a conservative company, and a lot of their philosophy and how they approach things and how they design things. But I guess they were saying that the owner of Toyota, the Akio Toyoda, was saying that he wants to be less boring, he wants to be a little more exciting or bold. And in the past, it used to be that the engineers had a veto on certain designs, whether that be tailgate stuff or the whole body of the truck. They could veto things for engineering. However, they did mention on this podcast that veto was taken away from the engineers. So I don't know what that all means. I don't know how much of a say or not they have. And on the other hand, people might also complain and say, hey, maybe the design team had too much power. But I'm not really going to get into that. I mean, I've been vocal with my criticisms of the Tundra. I do wish there was some kind of step molded into the bed of the truck, or the tailgate, or the bumper of the truck. It doesn't have to be the multi-flex tailgate that GM has, or the step that Ford has, but just something to help get in there a little easier. And another thing that I thought was interesting, because I used to like how short the grill and the hood and the nose was on the 2021 Tundra. And you know, I thought it looked well, and I did notice that this one got a little bit longer, but that was intentional in terms of the design team. They said they wanted to bring that cowl back, you know, where the wiper blades rest. They pushed that back on this truck and were able to get a longer hood and you know, a shorter a shorter dash and stuff in here, and be able to push it back. So I think that was something they wanted to do. I don't mind how it looks. From certain angles, the bumper and the front can look like it has, you know, quite the overhang, or protrudes a bit more than it should, but then there's other angles where it looks really good and it looks really tight. So I just thought I'd share those design things I heard. If you're interested, again, it's called the Tundra Files, and it's not a bad listen. A lot of the information is stuff that you've probably already heard, but some of it is a little more in detail than you'd expect. And that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, please subscribe and like. Thanks. Bye.